Okay, so there was a delivery and I got my shoes. When I was younger, I noticed that my shoe size was like for a long time, it was 9 inches. But nowadays, it's either I have to have a shoe that's a 10 to make it more comfortable. And I believe it's because I usually wear sandals and slippers. So I started to wear like closed shoes again to, the more closed shoes you probably wear, it will not go bigger. But I guess it will not go bigger or more than the 10 size that I prefer. But it's not really a 10. It's just that the 10 is more comfortable than a 9 nowadays. Like a 9 would result to blisters. Anyhow, going back to why I really initiated the breakup with my ex. Okay, so I broke up with him because there was just a thought in me that he would enjoy the process of being boyfriend and girlfriend, but he will not be the end game. Something like that. Like he would still give, he would still give that throne to someone else. And that's something so hurtful. But there's also one thing I learned. If your person who's in a relationship with you has like hesitation with regard to marriage due to personal reasons or family reasons, then don't also fight it, because usually, that's our reaction. I did that for quite some time. Like I also, like, I went to it, like I said, no, hang on, maybe you'll like me later on. And then I realized, like, the extension of the relationship is partly my fault, that he got used to me being there, but he's not really ready to commit to me. But it's just that he got used to me being there, and part of it is also my fault, because I prolonged a situation where he himself voiced out that he could not marry me, that because of this issue about religion and culture. But what I did not like was the lie, because it wasn't about religion. It wasn't really about the cultural thing. It was more of a family thing, that his family would rather have someone the same as their race to have as partner. And you cannot force yourself into a situation that's like that, because you're only bringing in chaos. So for me, that's why I gave up, because I'm not a I might appear confrontational because I'm upfront. Like I would tell you, but I'm going to tell you to avoid further conflict. And that's the difference between a narcissist who wants chaos all the time, or between a person who wants to confront you and tell you the truth and take it out from you and leave it as that. So that was the most difficult situation, is also, or factor rather, of the situation was accepting that I'm part of the fault in the relationship. And hearing his side, hearing his mom and sister telling me, you're not made for each other, all these things. And it really made me realize, because while they were telling me this, he wasn't saying anything. You see the situation? He wasn't saying anything to even say something like, yeah, I believe she does understand. I did love her, but I know, it was something like that. No, he remained silent throughout the duration and just let it be. So you know that the silence is already an agreement that yeah, he's okay with having the relationship dissolved. And you cannot do anything. That I think that was where the disappointment came from. Because even if, you know, we were breaking up, like I deserve, a good goodbye. That was for me. Like I deserve uh I'm sorry that I gave you a hard time. I'm sorry that, all these things. And I was too. I did say my sorry. I'm sorry too for prolonging this relationship, something like that. But you would notice that sometimes in a relationship, when you break up, just leave it at that. Break up. You would feel bad. I guess I felt bad because I also prolonged the relationship. Like I gave him a chance when part of me was already thinking there's something fishy with regard to the situation. So anyhow, that was like, so during that time it was really like a downward spiral, but I did not, like, in all honesty, it would really cause that much depression to a person. But knowing me, I always said, you know, no matter what, you're going to get through with this, and you're going to pray, you're going to do whatever to bring yourself, to lift yourself up from this illness, from this the situation that you're in, and you're going to become a better person. You were already a better person if you believe it. You may be the betterest of myself. So I was telling myself that. And it was really difficult because during breakups, the last break I always have my mom to call, like this that, and my mom and my nephew were always say, this, they always were the ones whom I would say, when they say it, like, yeah, it's over and done with. But during this breakup, there was nobody around. There was nobody. I felt like, oh, it really created difficulty. And I couldn't, my dad isn't my mom, and my dad, with regard to romantic situation, yes, he doesn't know with regard to that. It's always the mom. So, and so it was like it became a long walk, like when you're just walking and you're just walking and you're just thinking that I'm almost there. I'm almost able to drink the water. I'm almost there, but I'm just getting there. That's the feeling that I had about the situation, the 2023 and 2024. So when 2023 ended, I spent Christmas alone. I spent New Year alone. I cooked myself, dinner. I bought myself some cake, like that. But I had to celebrate that I was alive. And for that, I was thankful. 2024, I celebrated my birthday alone. Like, I prefer it that way. It's been like that since my mom died. And I really prefer the reflections, like the thinking about life and all these things. And 2024 became a healing process for me. Of so much healing with regard to situations, so much healing with regard to the relationship that I have with God, because I just, there was a part of me that was ready to say goodbye to my Catholic faith. and just not believe anything anymore. But it was more of a no, he's actually the one left behind to listen. And I graduated from technical school, although I did not take the examination yet. But I finished that part. And my dad, after his 6 months travel tour, he came back. And when he came back, 2024, it was in time for the Holy Week. Just in time for the visita iglesia. So we did that. And processing my own thoughts, I have to go back to Cebu from I couldn't, just go and leave, because my dad is also old. Like when he was traveling was with my siblings. So that was easy. Now with regard to leaving him for a day, leaving him for 2 days, those are difficult situations for me, because he would be alone, and I don't I already have a phobia with regard to what happened to my mom. So my thought is like, if I'm going to leave, I have to make sure that my dad is with someone. So 2024 became an evaluative year for me. 2024 became an evaluation, like an analysis, an uprootment of the situation that I was currently in. It was like, you graduated medicine already. What's next? You even had an extra, degree. What's next? Are you satisfied with where you're at right now? Are you okay that you're single? So it was like a, a mourning again with the life that I lost, or something like that. But it was like a transitional stage of the life that I'd be having. So it's like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that, and this, that. Check what's new in this situation, check what's new in the world. Do I feel obsolete? Why do I feel obsolete? How do I need to address this feeling that I'm unable to process right now? So this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. Bam, bam, bam. With regard to the situation of my location, it's like, you need to transition. Maybe there's a need to transition, where maybe there's definitely a bigger need to do a transition. In other words, since I'm speaking so much more in English, like, may pagbabago bang dapat gawin sa location ko? Dapat ba akong pumunta dito? Anong gagawin ko to evolve? Because I felt na hindi na ako nag-change doon. Parang na-stuck up ako sa this year. Like, this year, I was stuck up with regard to the plans that I have. Parang hindi na nag-evolve yung mga pag-iisip na gusto kong gawin. Pero pwede yung mga gusto kong gawin, pwede pa ba? Yung mga gusto kong gawin, okay pa ba sa panahon ngayon? Kung hindi na okay, ano ang dapat kong gawin para ma-okay ako sa panahon ngayon? At yung yung ma ma-attain ko yung okay. I'm happy, I'm content. With regard to relationship, do I really need a relationship right now? As a matter of fact, hindi eh. The number one reason why I don't want to have a relationship right now is health issues. Why do you go into a relationship? You have to be fair to someone. What kind of relationship do they want? Most of the time, like, a guy would want to have to a relationship for a good, later on, to get married, to have children. Can I have that? I'm already 45. I have health issues with regard to my thyroid. Does that affect my fertility? Maybe, maybe not. It's still questionable. So I have to be very open to the one I'm having a relationship. Ganito, ganyan. Ang may problema ako sa ganito. Baka kasi mag-asa ka na, you want kids immediately. Can I have kids? My fertility, it needs to be checked. I'm already at an age where it's not about difficult. It is difficult already to get pregnant since I'm already almost 50. Maybe I'm I just stabilized. I'm in the process of stabilizing my health na magpapa-opera pa ako, ganyan, ganyan, ganyan. Tapos may darating in a relationship. So, will it be better for me or will it be more pressure for me? What do I want? I don't want pressure. So, that's why I said, sa relationship, preno muna, break muna. Para I need to be fair to someone. What do I bring what do I bring in the relationship? Anong ma-offer ko sa plate na relationship? If we would have a plate, anong maibigay ko? Love? Yun lang. Would that be enough? Monetary, I'm not right now. My money is going for my operation, going for all these things, career plans, career change, and all those things. Long planning with regard to career situations if I'm really going to train to become a doctor. So yun. Kasi I don't have a support anymore but my own. Even with regard to operation, I'm even thinking of asking for help with regards sa what you call this, sa my PhilHealth naman ako, maybe I could ask the SWD because I'm unemployed right now. So those situations, I have to be very practical when it comes to my financial situation. Kasi I could not, like my siblings sa ganito, ganyan, they're spending for my dad. But sa akin, I'm already very old para mag-depend so much sa kanila. So, yun, I would go ask for help in another entity. If they could give it to me financially, then why not? And I have to, be thick-faced with regard to the situation. Oh, may pera yung mga kapatid ko, pero ako wala. You know, wala akong pera ngayon, not unless I would have a good sale with the bulk of my business. But right now, it's not doing well because it's the inflation. Parang it's not practical for them to buy so many like religious things like the rosary. And also, it's just now that people are going back in praying the rosary. So I don't want to force people in buying the religious products that I do sell. I don't want to, bili kayo nito din, na, yung mafo-force sila. Tapos, negative pa yung review kasi anong klaseng store ito nag-force na nagbebenta. Parang ganun. So, I don't like that. So, it's a situation where I'm waiting for a good financial help and darating ba. So, right now, I'm planning to sell with, like, there's a family situation na siguro dapat property na to ibenta or may property nga na pwede ibenta. Pero selling a property is not going to be like selling candy. So, maraming pagdaanan yan. And even yung bibili, marami silang i-check with regard to the tax, with regard to the situation. Yan. May property, pero mabenta ba? Those kinds of questions. So, I have to be very practical with regard to the situation. And of course, since hindi naman like if we're selling a family property, it's not gonna be like mine because may mga siblings din ako. So it's going to be a shared income rather. So, yun. But there is some. And I'm crossing my fingers, or I'm praying rather. I'm praying rather that it's gonna be a smooth sell, because this is part of really going to help me financially with operation and career change that I'm hoping to have in this 2025. So it's starting to, the plan is the drawing board is starting to get the coming out from the board, na it's not na lang na hindi na lang drawing yun, hindi na lang drawing, but it's starting to bring it out into the reality of my situation. So dami pang dapat gawin, but hopeful. Yung anxiety, dapat i-assess, dapat i-ano. Kasi wala naman akong magagawa eh. Mag-assign lang ako, drama-drama na lang. Tapos walang movement. Eh, talagang wala. Because sometimes, the reason why I broke up, because, when you're helping yourself and you feel like there's really nobody there to help you out but yourself, then you have to have, nag-ubo na ako kasi I shouldn't be talking longer. I don't know, it's becoming scratchy and I need to rest now. Anyhow, so this is my, I hope the surgery goes well. Tomorrow I'd be talking with my specialist about the surgery, yung totoong gastos, magkano gastos. So I could also look at for ways and means as to, ask for help. Wala namang GoFundMe dito sa Pilipinas, pero baka yung may mga tao na na may mga programa na nahi-help yung mga most especially unemployed. So anyway, yun. Maybe the lesson that you will have, that I have and I could share with people, is don't give up and don't compare yourself to others. Because if you compare yourself to others, then you would just feel bad if they're in a good situation and you're in a bad situation. Also, sometimes what you see online isn't what it is. So there are things that some people are good in hiding and some people don't want to share with regard to situations that they're currently in. So yun. And just focus on your journey. Huwag give up yung mga yung mga letter S. Huwag ganun. Minsan, you just have to sit down. Sit down, watch TV. Another story. I have made a video about this previously. I don't know if I posted it here or previously, but before nawala yung ABS-CBN, like in the afternoon, especially after my mom died, in all honesty, yung Showtime, yun yung pinapanood ko. Tapos sa gabi naman, yung sa Netflix na Modern Family, yun. Parang I connected to those shows, and yung yun talaga, yung I have I could laugh, I could smile even for a short while kasi nanonood ako ng mga movies na ganun. Do not, as much as possible, I mean, drama movies are nice, but stay away from those for a little while. Prefer, I know sometimes in comedy there's drama, but there's more that you can laugh. So choose a series that you can laugh more. Do not choose a series or a show that's already like, I feel depressed, so I'm going to watch a depressing show. No, don't do that. Rather, watch a comedy show, or watch something funny. Just, laugh, just smile, just laugh and smile and laugh. if you're so down, find those shows, find things that would make you smile. Okay, like this one here. That's my mom's dog now. But she's more close to my dad, of course. So, yun, play with your pets, have time with your pets, choose situations that would bring positive vibes rather than iyak-iyak ka dun sa kilid. The more depressing you would be feeling. So, yun. If you're feeling negative, choose ideas and activities that are more positive to take you away from the sadness that you are already feeling. So, pag sad ka, huwag ka naman, nanood ka doon ng mga sad thing, nakinig ka ng drama na sad, yun. So, napupuno lang yung sadness sa heart mo. More ka madidepress niyan or yung, yung maano ka pa, yung ma-hospital ka pa. So, ano, be positive. Yes, sometimes life is negative, but learn to process. Because sometimes sa processing, doon mo makikita, you're still blessed. Like for me, I was so sad nga. Baka yung diagnosis CA. Takot na ako, baka CA. Lo and behold, hindi. Lo and behold, I am still going to be an able-bodied person. I'm still going to be more healthy than ever after my operation. Positive. I'm still going to be good. Still going to be me. Something like that. And with a broken relationship, let's just leave it at that. It's broken. Wala ka nang magagawa dun. Kasi broken na eh. Tapos na. All you can do is continue, Also, be fair to the other person. Maybe the other person wants someone else to be positive or to be in a situation where, kasi minsan you're depressed and sila feeling positive tapos you're in a depressive state. Some people are also having their own trauma that they actually don't want to be sad. So you're bringing them in a sad situation, and be fair. Be fair to the one that you're having a relationship with. So, you let go. You learn to let go. Ito yung, sa panahon ngayon, mahirap yung mga, yung tinataga, yung kasi nag-break up. Huwag ganun. Learn to let go. It's really what I learned, over time. I've had my share of heartbreaks and excess, about situations of cheating, about situations of, lying, all these things. But it's really hard to break up because you always think that you'll spend your life with this person. You already imagined a life with this person. You already imagined the type of wedding that you're going to have with this person. And unfortunately, they don't feel the same about you. Yung hindi nila, wala silang pag-iisip na ganun towards sa'yo. Parang may iba pa silang gustong gawin sa buhay. And buhay rin nila yan eh. They share a part of their life with you, but siguro ayaw nila ng whole, or they're not ready to that wholeness na they're going to share with you. So, be fair to them. Let them go. And then, sa ikaw, kung anong pinagdadaanan mo, huwag ka lang malugmok. Kung iyak ka, iyak ka. Kaya nga, sabi ko, watch ka ng comedy. Kasi iyak ka, tatawa ka, iyak ka, tatawa ka. Para kang loka, no? Para kang loko. Pero okay lang yan. As long as na-process na, yung parang napalabas mo yung emotions mo na-realize mo, para kung tanga, iiyak ka, tapos sa tao, iiyak ka mong tatawa, parang ulol. So, you yourself would realize, ew, ew, imiyak ko, tumatawa ako, parang ganun. So, you would be like, enough na to. Yeah, I'll do something else with my life. And positive vibes. Learn that And be mindful sa mga comments mo. Bakit ka ba baka nagko-comment ka ng negative kasi you're feeling down. Please don't spread your negativity. Process it yourself and then, spread positive vibes instead. Yun lang, folks, and that's my daily dose of summary on about the updates of life and what I've been doing, because it's really, really been quite some time that you know, it took me a while, it took me some years to be comfortable again, to share my life, and for you to learn about things that I go through that you can apply in your own lives and say, oh, I'm good. You're good. We're good. Something like that. Bye. Have a good day.